Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're diving into some truly mind-blowing source material about the world's most expensive cars. Now, we aren't just talking about your standard luxury ride today. We're uncovering what exactly drives a machine's value from the price of a really nice house all the way up to, literally, the GDP of a small island. If you've ever wondered what separates a vehicle that simply gets you to work from a multi-million-dollar rolling work of art, well, you are definitely in the right place. Let's jump right in. So, what actually is the most expensive car in the world? We're looking at absolute legends today, from the likes of Rolls-Royce, Bugatti, and Ferrari. But honestly, guessing that number one spot isn't quite as straightforward as you might think. As we're going to see, the answer depends heavily on how you measure it. Like, are we talking about the sticker price on a brand new hypercar straight from the factory? Or are we talking about the dramatic swing of an auctioneer's hammer for a classic that hasn't seen the light of day in decades? To wrap our heads around this, we really have to rethink our entirely normal relationship with cars. We're not just talking about getting from point A to point B anymore. We are talking about ultra-rare masterpieces. We're talking about vehicles that consistently sell for tens of millions of dollars. And these eye-watering valuations, they're based on rich history, extreme rarity, and unparalleled craftsmanship. These cars command extraordinary prices because they basically transcend the very concept of transportation. They are, quite simply, unrepeatable artistry in motion. Section 1. Modern exclusivity and hypercars. Kicking things off at number 10 on our sources list is the Bugatti Chiron Profile, which fetched over $9 million at auction. $9 million bucks. And the Profile wasn't just another hypercar rolling off an assembly line either. It was crafted as a completely unique interpretation of the Chiron. It features bespoke aerodynamic details, like this sweeping, integrated tail designed for enhanced stability. Because the standard Chiron's production slots were completely sold out, Bugatti elected to build only a single Profile. Just one was ever produced, making it not just a car, but the absolute end of an era for its legendary engine configuration. Bugatti actually secures another spot at number 8 with the Centodieci. Now, while the Profilate is a true one-of-one, the Centodieci is limited to strictly 10 units worldwide. It serves as this really aggressive, modern tribute to the legendary 1990s Bugatti EB110. But more importantly, it proves a core tenet of modern car collecting. See, the billionaires buying these vehicles aren't just paying for raw horsepower. I mean, the standard models have plenty of that. They're paying for the ironclad guarantee that when they arrive at an exclusive event in Monaco or Beverly Hills, absolutely no one else will pull up in the exact same car. Section 2. Classic Legends and Provenance. Let's shift gears and step back into the golden eras of motorsport, which gave us some of the most romantic, dangerous, and highly sought-after machines in human history. In the 1930s, an era defined by daring drivers in leather helmets, we got the dramatic Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, sitting at number 3. Fast forward a bit to the brutal endurance racing of the 1950s, and we find the Ferrari 335 S Spider Scaglietti at number 4. Moving into the 1960s, which was this golden age of function meeting gorgeous design, we have the iconic Ferrari 250 GTO at number 6. These machines didn't just drive, they built the very foundations of automotive mythology. To really put these classic racing values into perspective, let's unpack that number 4 car. That 1950s Ferrari 335S Spider Scaglietti was powered by a massive, deafening V12 engine and built strictly to conquer the world's most terrifying open-road endurance races, like the grueling Mille Miglia across Italy. In 2016, a single surviving example of this machine crossed an auction block, and it sold for approximately $35 million. The buyer wasn't just purchasing a vintage vehicle. No, they were acquiring a victorious, battle-tested gladiator of the 1950s. And the scarcity of these legends is just staggering. Take the number 6 car, the early 1960s Ferrari 250 GTO. It represents the perfect intersection of heart-stopping beauty and ruthless track dominance. But get this, only around 36 examples were ever produced. Because of this extreme rarity, the owners of the GTO, along with the elegant number 5 car, the California Spider, form an incredibly exclusive global club. You generally cannot buy these at public auction. They trade in highly secretive, private transactions, changing hands quietly between billionaires for tens of millions of dollars. Okay, brace yourselves for this next figure. $143 million. We are entering an entirely different stratosphere of collection here. In 2022, a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe sold for this world record price. Why so much? Because it's one of only 2 examples ever built. It was essentially a road-legal version of a dominant championship-winning 1950s Formula One car. For decades, Mercedes-Benz kept these twin cars locked away in their corporate vault, completely inaccessible to the public. When they finally let one go to fund a charitable scholarship, it literally shattered the ceiling of what humanity thought a car could be worth.
Section 3. The Bespoke Automotive Masterpieces.
Back in the modern era, Rolls-Royce is reviving the lost, century-old art of true coach building, and they are totally dominating the bespoke ranks. In this realm, the chassis of the car is simply a blank canvas. At number 9, we have the Sweptail at a reported $13 million. Skipping up to number 2, we have the highly personalized La Rose Noir Droptail, sitting somewhere in the tens of millions. And at the ultimate peak, number 1 is the staggering $28 million Rolls-Royce Boattail. The buyer actually works directly with the factory designers for years, dictating every single curve of the bodywork to perfectly reflect their personal taste. The Rolls-Royce Boattail's massive $28 million price tag actually makes a lot of sense when you look at the extraordinary craftsmanship involved. It features a rear deck that mimics the wooden hull of a luxury J-class yacht, and it opens up like a butterfly's wings at the touch of a button. And inside, a bespoke parasol, rotating cocktail tables, and a specialized champagne fridge engineered by Rolls-Royce to chill the owner's exact favorite vintage to precisely 6 degrees Celsius. This isn't just manufacturing, folks. It's automotive haute couture.
Section 4. Why are they so expensive?
The source material breaks down collector value beautifully into 5 core pillars. First up is surviving rarity. So not just how many were made, but how many actually survived those dangerous racetracks without crashing. Second is history, meaning prestigious racing victories or ownership by royalty. Third is craftsmanship, accounting for the literal thousands of human hours spent hand-shaping aluminum and polishing wood. Fourth is originality, meaning the car still retains its original factory engine block and body panels. And finally, the 5th pillar, provenance.
Provenance is absolutely fascinating. It's the fully documented, verifiable story of the car, and it can multiply a vehicle's value exponentially. For example, if a vintage sports car was just driven to the grocery store by a local dentist, it has one baseline value. But if that exact same chassis was raced at Le Mans by an icon like Paul Newman, its desirability absolutely skyrockets. You aren't just buying the metal, the leather, and the rubber anymore. You are literally buying the ghost of its history and the legacy of the legends who sat in the driver's seat.
Section 5. Price versus true value. Now, trying to compare the prices of these cars is a really complex science because the true ceiling of the market is incredibly secretive. A confirmed public auction record, like that $143 million Mercedes-Benz, provides a verified, concrete benchmark for the whole world to see. However, the absolute peak of the collector car market often happens far behind closed doors. Billionaires trade these historical assets using non-disclosure agreements and private brokers, which means the actual highest price ever paid for an automobile might be completely unknown to the general public. Take the number 3 car, for example, the stunning 1930s Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic. It is widely considered the automotive equivalent of the Mona Lisa. Only a handful exist in the world, famously held in prestigious collections like that of Ralph Lauren. They're so culturally, artistically, and historically valuable that putting a definitive price tag on them is virtually impossible. The owners simply refuse to sell them at any price. They completely transcend the concept of a financial market. Ultimately, whether it's a modern, one-of-one coach-built masterpiece from Rolls-Royce with bespoke champagne fridges, or a classic, battle-hardened Ferrari that somehow survived the Mille Miglia, these vehicles represent the absolute pinnacle of automotive heritage. They are the ultimate convergence of bleeding-edge performance, unparalleled rarity, and breathtaking design. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, moving pieces of human history. So considering the extreme near-mythical rarity, the incredible, dangerous racing history, and the jaw-dropping bespoke craftsmanship we've just explored in this explainer, I have a massive question for you. If money were absolutely no object and you had the keys to any vault in the world, which of these legendary automakers would you choose? Would you go for the undeniable racing pedigree of Ferrari or Mercedes-Benz, or would you lean toward the modern, hyper-personalized luxury of Bugatti or Rolls-Royce? We would genuinely love to know your pick. Tell us down in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed diving deep into this source material with me today, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for TurboFacts. We're going to be bringing you more rich, detailed explainers into supercar history, extreme luxury craftsmanship, and the wild stories behind the world's most incredible cars. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.